This is the Ferrari 458 I bought wrecked and attempted to rebuild it in 7 days. No! Oh yeah, but we could only get so far. None of this lines up. We got a lot of the structural repairs done and even fitted a new rear quarter. Yes! But there was only so many parts we could get in those 7 days. And we found that some of those parts didn't even fit. But today, we're gonna finish it for good and get it back on the road. Come on. At least, that's what we thought.
Whoa, 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 whoa. The whole car just said enough and just shut itself down.
Let's start by getting this front end on. Last time we worked on the car, we figured out that all of these panels that we put on, we had to do guesswork on how these actual frames lined up because we don't have another 458 to measure off. Ferrari ain't gonna send us the measurements of it because they don't want people like us repairing them. So what we've got to do now, because we've got the wings, the bonnet and the bumper, is we put them on, align that to the rest of the car where we think it should go, and then we can re-weld on all of these panels and make sure that they're all in the right spot. Let's get moving. So now, the front end panels have all been primered, but before we commit to painting all of them, we need to make sure that they actually fit. And to eliminate that anything's bent that's on the car, the first thing I'm going to remove are the bonnet hinges and replace them with new ones, because there was damage to the old bonnet.
Out with the old.
And in with the new ones. But they are slightly different.
Why do you reckon the studs are so long?
It's universal, you just cut it down to the size you need.
At this point, nothing is surprising with this Ferrari. The studs on the bonnet hinge are way too long, so I'm handing them over to Liam so we can make them look more like the originals.
How can you trust me on that?
I'm a very trustworthy person.
And whilst he's doing that, I can start lining up the front wings with the doors, because I can still access the bonnet hinges even though the wings will be on. And even though this front wing is aftermarket, it does line up with the door pretty well, so I'm happy with that. And whilst I'm doing that, we've got Bob from the machine shop continuing his work with the rear quarter. This time, starting to get the dents out of it, because we got it a little bit cheaper because it was damaged. This wing's on. We're not going to reference this door because if you remember in the last video as well, the door was all over the shop, but we've got new hinges for the door as well. We've got to put them in. But for now, this doesn't look too bad, but if we're moving that side out, we're probably going to have to move this side in. Perfect way to see though is to fit the bonnet or the hood if you're American, but Liam has not finished painting his hinges yet.
Promise drawing. Matt took the GoPro.
Eventually, Liam got some paint on the hinges, and there was also a bracket of the headlight to fix. Again, we got this headlight cheaper because the bracket was broken, but it actually come with it. So my dad popped a bit of glue on it and stuck it back into place. And by that time, the hinges were dry.
Straight out the body shop look.
Wow.
Liam's body shop.
Wow.
Are you proud?
Thank you, Liam. I mention every time we do a front end damage car that it's always a good idea to change the bonnet hinges, because you'll be forever trying to line the bonnet up if the hinges are slightly bent. And whilst I've put them in, Bob's prepped the rear quarter, ready to put some spot welds into it. And of course, this rear quarter is aluminium, so it requires TIG welding. And this type of welding I've never done before. But Bob on the other hand is really experienced with it. And if you want to learn how to do it, you can do at the machine shop, which Bob runs. The link's in the description for that. Right, we're going to put on the bonnet now, because the bonnet is pretty, there's not loads of adjustment in it, but we're going to put that on, and then we should be able to move the wings to the bonnet. But let's just see where it sits with the new hinges on. It might be okay. At the minute, to put the bonnet in, we're using some random nut and bolts just to hold it in place. Because if it does line up, we can send it to the body shop for paint afterwards. But let's see if these new hinges has made a difference with this aftermarket bonnet. But it still seems a little off.
Yours looks not that bad, to be fair.
It's just high here. Which would say to me it needs to be lifted up, like, you know, like, it needs to go like that. So the bonnet is still slightly out, but now we've got a stock 458 front bumper, we're going to slide that into place and see if it lines up with the wings. And then close the bonnet down to see how it fits there.
This has a grill that goes there.
Yeah. And it's not too far off. The bumper and the wings line up. It's just the bonnet, we couldn't get to work with the wings and the bumper. So it looks like we're going to be spending the next couple of hours on trying to line this bonnet up with the rest of the panels at the front. But no matter what we did, we couldn't get it lined up. Just to make sure there wasn't anything wrong with that bonnet, we took it off and put the old damaged one back in to see if that lined up. Come to the conclusion. The stock bonnet lines up like, it's not fully on, but the stock bonnet isn't high in the places that bonnet is high. And look, you only have to look at this. You come down here and look at it from here. Look at if you go low, look at the distance between the floor and that there, and then the floor and that there. Like, it's fully twisted. The standard bonnet, we sort of bent back into place, but obviously this is gone. You can't do it. It's all kinked up and broken. So I'm going to have to order a standard bonnet. Right now, the car's booked in at the body shop, so we can't continue much with the front end. Our main concern is getting the quarter done. Liam's taking the PPF off the door on the right hand side because they're going to have to paint all into that side to match it all up. The rear quarter is nearly ready for paint, so Bob's welded on everywhere down here, all down here, but we just need to get this car ready for the body shop, and when we get the car back we should be able to reassemble it all, but we just need to make sure that this rear quarter is on, ready to go. Let's get it to the body shop. Conclusion, the aftermarket bonnet doesn't fit as well as the original bonnet, so I'm going to have to order an original one and just hope that my theory is correct. All we're doing now is just prepping the car for the body shop, so we're taking off the storage panel at the back for where the roof goes, just so Bob can access the rear quarter a bit more to put in a few more welds, and once he's done that, the car's ready to go to the body shop. Now we have managed to get the car running and driving, so my dad's going to drive it out, then we've got to pop it in the trailer, and it's going to be at the body shop for about a week. Firstly, the guys are going to concentrate on painting the rear quarter and any panel that's actually attached to the car. That way they can get the car back to us as soon as possible. So they're doing the rear quarter first, some primer, a couple of layers of paint, and then the clear coat over the top. Once they're happy with that, the car can go back in the trailer and head back to our unit, where now we can start assembling it whilst the guys at the body shop paint the rest of the panels that we've left there. The last thing to paint, hopefully, which is all of the exposed metal here, and just to have a look, we've got the example of how Ferrari painted it, and they forgot to paint the bottom, which is fine, so we can also forget to paint the bottom, and then they got just kind of like a bit of a splatter there. So we're kind of trying to go for the same technique. First we're going to use a little bit of etching primer, then we're going to go straight in with the red. Let's go. Again, like the body shop, I'm applying the primer first onto the bare metal, but unlike the body shop, I'm using an aerosol can. But all of this framework, I think, was only painted just so it stops it corroding rather than looking good. So I don't think I could do any worse than a job than Ferrari, I hope. Once the primer's on, I'm going to go over it with the aerosol, which is colour matched to the body colour paint. A few layers of that, and it's complete.
Do you know what? That paint actually looks quite good.
It's not bad, is it?
No, that's alright.
Maybe I painted a bit more than Ferrari did on that side.
Yeah, look.
Ferrari must have run out of paint there, because I still had some left. Looks actually alright, and we've done a Ferrari job, like handmade, a bit of rattle canning. The door's been painted and repaired where the mirror was as well. The rear quarter has been painted and nicely blended in as well. All our repair is basically non-existent right now as well. We do have to paint inside the rear quarter to finish that off. All the repair all around here, non-existent. Panels are lining up good. It looks like a Carrera GT at the minute. We do need to put the roof hood thing back on as well. This side as well, because the wing has been painted, the guys have painted into this door as well, so this whole side's sort of been blended in. But the panels are still yet to come back, the wings, bonnet and bumper. But in the meantime, because we've now painted this front frame, we can start fitting in the radiators and bleed the system, which could be quite difficult because the radiators are at the front and where you fill the coolant is at the back, so it's prone to airlocks. So let's get the radiator in and we're going to find out whether our fix on the radiator is actually going to work. So when we first took off the existing radiator off the car, we noticed a little hole in the plastic, which is actually going to cause the radiator to leak. But a new radiator was at least a 2-week wait from Ferrari, and we couldn't find a second-hand one anywhere. So instead, my dad tried to fix it by melting plastic zip ties into the hole in the radiator, and it seems to be watertight. But I guess now we'll find out whether it actually works when it runs to temperature once we fit both the front radiators to the car, which is what me and Liam are doing now, which is quite tricky. There's a big plastic shroud after the radiator and one just before. Right, radiators are sort of resting in at the minute. Hoses aren't on, but between the radiators where they're mounted, they have like a little rubber piece like that, and then another rubber piece like that, and it's obviously take out a bit of vibration. But this bit here is a bracket that Bob made. So now we know where the radiator goes and mounts up there. We can sort of just scratch a little hole with this bolt. And where that scratches under there, we're going to drill a hole and put a riv nut in there so this bolt can screw directly into it. To get a bit more space, I pulled a bolt out which holds the radiator up. Then I've got enough room to drill the hole. Oh no, I scratched my paint. I need to make sure the hole is big enough for my riv nut, and then I can slide my riv nut with the riv nut tool into the hole that I've just drilled and squash it into place. Once it's in, I can then screw the bolt into my fitting. And Liam's got to do exactly the same on the other side. Once we're happy with that, we can secure up both radiators, and in front of the left side radiator is an aircon condenser which we've got to slide in as well and connect the parts which go to it. They bolt in place. Once those two are in and Liam's tightened them up, I can go back over to my side and connect the top and bottom radiator hose ready for the coolant to go in. Right, because the radiators are at the front of the car and the cooling system and the engine is at the back of the car, there's a long way for the coolant to travel, which means there's a long way for air to be stuck in as well. And if we have an airlock, then the water cannot push the air, it's fighting against each other, the water isn't going to circulate, the coolant isn't going to cool down. So, we're going to suck all the air out of the system using this. If you've not seen this device before, then I can only guess that you're not subscribed to the channel. And now's a great time to hit the subscribe button, because this thing is a vacuum filler. It goes into the expansion tank and pulls out all the air out of the system. That's going to blow air fast across there, creating suction out of there, getting rid of all the air. This is now going to create negative pressure inside the cooling system. And we'll be able to tell here if we've got any leaks. You can see the hoses are completely collapsed at the front and it's holding vacuum. Just got to hope repair holds up to negative pressure, then it's got to hold up to positive pressure with heat. Let's see how we're doing. Now that the cooling system is holding a good vacuum, I've got to start filling coolant into it. It's important that I got the line full of coolant before the vacuum filler sucks it into the cooling system, because we don't want any air in there. And once I've opened the tap, it's now going to suck all the coolant into the cooling system. And we're going to do that until there's no vacuum left in it. Then we can pull the filler off the expansion tank and top up the remaining part with a little watering can. Let's start it, try and run the car to temperature, and we'll see and hope, one, we have no leaks, which we shouldn't have because it held vacuum, and two, whether our radiator fix holds out. Come on. So we can't see the coolant temperature because it's saying that the roof hasn't completed its cycle, but for the roof to complete its cycle we've got to put the roof on. So let's put the back half of the roof on, then it will know that it's on, and we should be able to see the coolant temperature. So let's do that. Test it. Right, we're at 80 degrees. Should get some fans coming on at about 90.
This bottom hose is getting warm.
And so far, no leaks.
Yeah, it looks dry to me.
Now it's starting to get to temperature though. Getting up to 90 in a minute.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Rev it, rev it. Yeah.
Oh. Everyone said that that wouldn't work.
You were right then.
Yeah, it's all dripping down at the
It
bottom.
wouldn't be us.
No. Oh yeah, look at all that. It seems like the heat completely melted the zip ties we put in. The situation is, we can't get a radiator. It's a 2-week wait from Ferrari. So we're gonna have to, like, the repair worked to an extent, but I think we just need to go at it a tiny bit more. Trying to get some more penetration on the plastic weld. And I think it will hold out, because it's just sweating. There it is, look. It's just, oh, look at that. Ready? Just lift that up. Pause out, look at that. We have to let the pressure die down once it's cooled down, and it wouldn't be us if we didn't get coolant on the floor when putting coolant in the car. There it is. Come on, I'm sure we can get this fixed. Right, see if we can fix this radiator.
Not meant for this purpose.
My dad's back at it with the zip ties. Trying to fill the hole and get some more penetration on the plastic. To get something else. Right, choice of two, because they didn't have JB weld. Epoxy putter for the toughest jobs on planet Earth. Waterproof, plumbing applications, automotive applications, gap filling, household repairs, and withstands extreme temperatures. Or option 2 is epoxy crystal clear, also for the toughest jobs on planet Earth, withstands extreme temperatures but only up to 82 degrees.
It's got to be that one.
It's got to be that one. So we're going to attack it with the putter. Bonnet. Insert. Wash. Go away. Go away. Yes. Yay! Yeah. But this all could change when we put the bumper on. I think, well, how long's it been since we put this on?
About 6 hours.
6 hours, close enough to 24, isn't it? Should we give it a try, see if it leaks? Let's run it up. Here goes nothing. Let's run the coolant up to temperature and all eyes on our repair. This has to work. Come on. We're at 90. How are we looking? So far, everything was looking good. Until... oh no, is it coming out?
You
Oh no!
Where? Oh yeah, look.
It was so close.
It's coming out.
Just a little bit, innit? We're down to last resorts. We're using the rest of the epoxy. We're going on. We've got no other option. 2-week wait for a radiator or £5 fix with epoxy Gorilla Glue. I choose epoxy Gorilla Glue every single day. We got close. We don't give up. We're not quitters. Let's just cake it in it. Come on. The front end is pretty much complete. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Headlights, bonnet, bumper, wings on, lined up. We have got our fingers crossed in hope that that radiator holds out. We're going to give it 24 hours before we actually try it again. That is looking fresh, I think. Looking really clean. Yeah, I really like it. I really like it. The body shop said it does need a mop up and a polish because it's just come fresh out of paint. We're not too worried about that at the minute. For now, we're going to carry on building up the rear end of the car, which I think bumper on first, but before the bumper, we do have an exhaust. Let me show you it. Here is a full Valvetronic system, equal length headers, front pipe, and then the back box. Now, where this car is going tomorrow requires that we need to stay under a certain sound decibel. This car will sound amazing with this on, but for tomorrow we can't be too loud. So I think it's going to be a better idea if we just put on the rear section now, which will just give it that little bit of tone, and then the rest possibly we put on later if everyone subscribes to the channel. First off, back box. Okay, so first things first, let's get the original back box off the exhaust system. There's 2 clamps each side. One of them snapped, but the other one come off quite easily. After that, there's loads of exhaust hangers which hold the exhaust to the chassis of the car. We've got to undo every single one which connects the back box to the car. After that, we're going to need to undo this bracket here just to give us enough room to wiggle the exhaust out. Final few hangers now which I'm undoing. Then there's these hoses which connect to the valve. They've got to be unplugged, and then I'm actually going to disconnect the pipe which connects the 2 back boxes together, which took a bit of persuading. Once that's out, it'll be a lot easier to remove the back boxes, one on each side.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see the difference in size between the stock one and the Valvetronic one. Old back box off, so now we've got standard exhaust headers, catalytic converters straight out. The old back box is massive compared to that. Then you have the standard valve. So the valve will open or close, and I guess there's some kind of redirection inside the back box. So the exhaust gases always take the fastest route. Engine gets vacuum, it'll probably open the valve to get louder. On these, on the Valvetronic system, I can plug it into an electronic one, so I can do it with a button, but I think I'm just going to stick with the stock one because it's still got the vacuum thing that I can plug the vacuum line onto, and it should still work the same as standard. So once you start revving it and it builds up a vacuum, that will open, and then the exhaust gases go down here into the silencer and out through the back. But when this is open like that, this will go down here and straight out the back. So that's going to sound pretty cool, but we need to do the obligatory start up without the back box to see what it sounds like.
Sounds nice.
It's not got like the tone, has it? But it's got like the bang. It sounds like deeper now. Yeah, it's not as loud as I thought it was going to be. I think mainly all the sound, it comes from, the actual sound is coming from the headers, but then the tone is coming from the back box. So let's put this back box on and see if we get like the actual tone, but I don't think it's going to be any louder than that. If anything, it's going to be quieter, which could be okay for us. This is very unlike me. Normally, we go for a crazy loud exhaust. The issue is, if I did put the headers on and those front pipes, we would have a crazy loud exhaust, but we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing tomorrow with the car. So for now, on goes the Valvetronic back box. It'll be interesting to see what difference this makes in sound. This fits in the exact same way as the OEM one does. So 2 vacuum lines. Here, these are solenoids, there and there. And the bottom 2 hoses coming out of there are going down here, down here, down here, to this tank, which holds vacuum from the engine. So all the time, this is pulling vacuum when the car's running. So it's sucking, but these solenoids won't let the vacuum pass until they open up, and then that is then what sucks the valves to an open position. We can do that with our new vacuum lines because these hoses here won't reach actuator. actuator. So we've got to replace these standard vacuum lines which lead from the solenoids to the valves.
Oh,
But once we removed them,
big, small.
we realised one side was small and the other side was big. So we was going to have to make a modification for them to work. Once they were both removed, my dad found some fuel pipe which fitted onto the solenoids, and then the pipe we got with the Valvetronic exhaust was going to pop a little bit of glue onto it and slide it into the fuel pipe. Again, this is just negative pressure which is running through these, so it shouldn't burst off the vacuum line. I've now got to cut the line down to size on one side and then slide in another vacuum line into the other side and cut that down to size. Then I can route the hose onto the valve of the exhaust on one side and on the valve of the exhaust on the other side. Now that they're on, we can tighten all the hangers down and tighten up all the exhaust clamps, connecting it to the rest of the standard exhaust. Valvetronic back box fitted. Exhaust tight. Let's give it a demo. And the good thing, I've actually gone sensible like a Ferrari owner right now, because it's just going to give it a bit of noise. It's actually completely legal system with the original valves. See what this sounds like, because I'm a classy guy.
Beg to differ.
And action! It's a little bit loud to stop.
It sounds. That's like a good sound, that is.
Yeah, it's like quite a nice sound, that is.
What do you think?
It's not a lot of difference from before. It's a bit more raspier.
It's quite nice. It's not too loud. I can still have a conversation behind the car, unlike the SVJ where it's just game over. Pretty good though. Let's start assembling the rear end. So with the exhaust on, we can now start fitting the rest of the body panels. First off, is this panel which sits just behind the engine, which has a brake light in it. Pop all the bolts in for that. This is how it come out. 4 washers underneath. And Ferrari used 4 washers to space out the bottom of the panel to make sure it aligned with the bumper. So I'm just going to put in the same 4 washers that come out on each side. Now we find out whether it's like that or like that. We did put the same amount of spacers in as usual, but we have put this bar in, and that's what that sits on. So, and this bar, there was no really like proper place to put it. So if the gap is a bit bigger at the top of the bumper, then we've got to take out a spacer to lower it down. Same on that side. So that's why the spacers are in. This will sit flat, nice there against the bumper. And here is the new bumper, which I managed to find on eBay. And as a bonus, it's got little carbon bits in it, which I think are optional extras. We've transferred over everything off our bumper, which was good, like the camera and the parking sensors.
That looks pretty good.
That does look quite good, doesn't it? Got it painted, and then we could fit it to the car. And so far, it's lining up pretty well. All we've got to do now is bolt it to the car, clip in the electrical connectors to the parking sensors and the rear camera, and then we can fit the rear lights. The rear lights slide in on each side, and then there's 3 nuts on the back of them which you can get to through the rear arch. Not forgetting to plug them in afterwards. It's really starting to look good now. Floor up and the interior whilst I put the arch lining in and the side skirt. Sounds like a plan, is the plan. Let's get the wheels on, roll it back. So let's pop on the wheels that we bought in the last video, and then we'll be able to roll the car forward to work on the interior. And once I see this car on the floor, it was getting me excited to see the final product. But we're not quite there yet.
Freshly repaired door card. Is that not amazing?
Now if you remember, when we picked the car up, only 2 airbags were deployed, and they were in the door cards, both left and right hand side. So we removed the door card and sent it off to Auto Trim to be repaired. Then all we had to do is buy 2 new airbags for the driver's side and the passenger side. Once we've got the airbags, we can then refit them into the door cards each side, and they're just about ready to be refitted onto the door. Whilst my dad's doing that, I bought a wing mirror glass. And I had to buy this one new. The two electrical connectors which clip onto the back of the mirror are for the heat, and then it just pushes into place. Once I've done that, I can jack up the left hand side of the car, remove both wheels, and it's time to fit the side skirt. One freshly painted skirt of the side, or if you're from America, they call these rockers. Once I've fitted the plastic bracket which it slots into, I can then push the side skirt in place, and there's a bunch of bolts underneath it and a few on top. Then this carbon Ferrari kick panel just sticks over the top of the bolts. I can now finally put in the nut and bolt which connects the side skirt to the rear quarter, and once that's in, I can now fit the arch lining at the back. Moving on to the seat belts. These have come back from the airbag team after the explosive in them had been replaced, because when the airbags go, the seat belts will deploy as well, locking them out to hold the passenger and driver into the seats. But now that they've been reset, I can refit them back into the car, and once I've refitted them, I can start reinstalling all the leather trim which covers over it. Job done here. Then finally, I can put a door seal in and the kick panel on the right hand side. Right, this side of the trim is all in. The car does need a bit of a clean out. We're getting there. Seatbelt is in. Seatbelt attaches to the seat, which we're going to put in. Still don't know whether this car drives without any faults. It's going to need a four-wheel alignment. But right now, the time is 11:30 at night. And we've got to have the car ready for 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, because we are going to be driving it somewhere which you will see. So, because we don't want to stop and order food, we've got the perfect meal replacement, which is one of the many Y Foods, of course. Now, Y Food is a meal replacement drink. It's not a diet drink, it's not a protein shake, it simply replaces one meal throughout the day and makes sure you're getting all the vitamins and minerals that your body needs up for your next meal. Yes, another good thing is there's loads of different flavours of Y Food to choose from. Banana flavour, fresh berry flavour, cold brew coffee, which we've actually found out does contain a little bit of caffeine, which helps us get through the night as well. These are perfect for people that are on the go just like us. There's 26 vitamins and minerals in there, high in fibre, high in protein, lactose free, gluten free, and there's no added sugar. On top of that as well, they've released the Y Food snack bars. Again, full of all the good stuff to keep your body full up to your next meal. Boom! Yes! Question is, has the airbag light gone off? And the answer is no. Even though that we've reinstalled both airbags each side and refitted the seats and the seat belts, we still have that airbag light on. So I was going to plug in the code reader just to see if we could cancel it off. But once we read the codes, there were still 11 faults in the airbag system. Front driver airbag stage 1, front driver side pre-tensioner, crash data on front driver side airbag. All of the faults in the airbag system were still there. And you can see that the ECU memory was locked. So it might be the case that we have to remove the airbag ECU, which will be somewhere bolted to the chassis of the car, and then get it reset manually outside the car. But if you want to grab a taster pack from Y Food, the link is in the description box below, and appearing on the screen right now is a discount code where you can find your favourite flavour for a little bit cheaper as well. Really good value for money, the taster packs. Right, let's go drive this thing, and hopefully it works. Unfortunately, we didn't get time to fix the airbag fault, because today, we had an appointment, and the car needed to be ready. But despite the airbag fault, the 458 was complete. She looked great. She is done and looks amazing. You may notice that we're on a racetrack, and last night we was up till about 3:30 in the morning finishing the Ferrari off. Now, we haven't actually got it MOT'd yet because we need to get that airbag light off. But what better way to shake down the car than to take it to the Top Gear test track. If you've seen Top Gear, you'll know how many important cars have been around this track.
And he is off. And he's off. And he's off. Lots of wheel spin off the line, but then
You'll also know the leaderboard. And on that leaderboard, the Ferrari 458 went round the test track with the Stig driving at a 1 minute 19.1. Now I wanted to see whether my 458 could match that or even better it. It's not even going to be me that's driving. We've got former Stig, Ben Collins,
Back in action.
let's do it. This is the former Stig, Ben Collins. What better driver to try and beat the previous time than the guy that set it in the first place? So 1:19.1 was the official lap time you did at Top Gear. I assume you would have done at least like 8 laps or...
Roughly.
Yeah, around 8 laps to get that time. We're probably not going to give him that.
I'll push hard and let's see what we can do. I'll warm the tyres up and give it a good bang.
I'm going to watch you. I'm not going in the passenger seat.
All right.
Yeah, fingers crossed, because if we hold the record in the 458 that we rebuilt, then we've topped it. Come on, Ben. Here we go. So this is it. The shakedown of the 458. This is such a strange moment because I'm not driving and I'm actually scared.
Sounds good.
Oh, it sounds good, and that's just with the back box. He's sent it. Now this was just Ben's warm-up lap, just to make sure everything was working. So far, so good.
Well, the brakes work. That's always a relief. Don't know why, but it's more body roll than I remember back in the day. It could just be because the car's getting on now. It's hard to believe it's over 15 years ago this model came out. So it could just be the suspension's a bit more tired. Or it could be Matt's handiwork.
How's he doing? The car's still in one piece. And also, can you tell I've got a Ferrari?
Yeah, I like your t-shirt.
Go Ferrari! But once the car got to the final corners, it started to go a little downhill.
Oh! First lap complete.
Oh, first sign of trouble is the gearbox. So, gearbox is slightly doing its own thing there.
As Ben come out the last corner, the gearbox started to shift up gears, even though it was in manual mode. Any good?
The gearbox did something strange then. When I got slightly sideways, I don't know what went on, but whatever's happened to the traction system told the gearbox to do something, and it wouldn't change, and it did its own thing.
Shift.
Obviously, I want to give it a shot in case there's a problem with the gearbox, so we may as well just send it and go.
Send it. I think send it, yeah. With Ben fairly happy with the car, he gave us the all clear to set his first lap time. That's flying!
Oh, he's locked up!
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa,
But then it all went wrong.
Bloody hell, Matt. Oh my god. What is going on? Oh! What is going on here? Alright, total system failure. Definitely no ABS at the first corner. The rear broke free, locked the rear axle. That's what probably knocked it out of gear as well. Alright, let's cycle this poor car.
Oh dear.
Alright. Let's... No.
What's happened there? The car looked like it now had a mind of its own.
I'll give it another go. Alright, it's given me a little warning. So I'm going to learn from that. I'm going to brake a little more smoothly for the first corner. And I think I need to drive this car like it has no ABS. Probably because it has no ABS.
Now the only thing I could think of here was of course that airbag module, which should sit in the centre of the car. Now of course the fault is that it's locked. We need to reset it after the accident to know that it's okay to drive, but we haven't done so. Now inside this airbag module, which bolts to the centre of the car, it has a yaw sensor, which detects when the car is accelerating, decelerating and turning round corners. These sensors not only tell the airbags when to deploy, it also can help the ABS and the traction control to tell the car when it's locking the wheels or breaking traction. Maybe because we haven't reset the airbag module, the whole car's confused, but this is only a guess.
I don't know if it's something that you tune into your cars, but when I braked at the first corner, it had no ABS.
Yeah.
And the tail went, what do you mean, yeah? I'll give it another shot.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to need to moderate that first corner to get round it. And then, to its finish, you have to first finish the back.
But despite that, Ben was going to give it another shot. And this time, it looked okay. Round turn 1, it survived.
It's through turn 1, good news, come on.
But look at that body roll. Surely that's not normal. Either way, Ben was powering through the lap. Coming into the slowest section of the track now, keeping it between those white lines and then accelerating out.
This is scary. Come on, Ben.
But then as the car got to the follow through, it died.
Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh dear. We're in neutral, which is never a good way to go fast.
The whole car shut off.
See what we can do. Okay, it's got very confused.
I don't think it's working. Maybe we just stick to Lamborghinis.
ESC failure, Manatino failure, windscreen washer failure, ABS failure, gearbox, parking brake. I feel like it's like Chitty Bang Bang now. It's said I've had enough.
Yeah.
It's completely turning itself off now.
Really?
Getting worse, not better.
We turned the car off and on and tried again and again, but every time something went wrong.
Survived the lap. Oh. Oh dear. Yeah. It didn't like that at all, did it? Mission failed to an extent. It rolls and it drives, which is a lot more than what it did at the start of the video. But it doesn't drive properly and it seems to be throwing a hissy fit. We tried, we gave Ben the chance. We had one lap, which was like a warm-up lap. Now we've got to figure out what exactly is going wrong with this Ferrari. Back to the studio.
And that's how that looks. So which one's it got?
I think green. I think you're right.
Like a drug that I just can't deny.